Hello students, now we will read chapter 3 Exogenetic Processes part 1 of Geography class 9th Maharashtra board. So let's start. Many landforms are formed due to the internal movements. Many processes occurring on the earth's surface also lead to the formation or degradation of landforms continuously in this session. In this lesson, we will be studying the exogenetic external processes and the landforms formed by them. External processes occur because of the forces working on the Earth's surface. They are mainly solar energy, gravitational force, and kinetic energy associated with the moving objects on the Earth's surface. See figure 3.1a. Exflo- Exfoliation of dome-shaped hill, mechanical weathering. This is a hill formed by exfoliation. This is a dome-shaped hill. In figure 3.1b, block disintegration. This is also made by mechanical weathering. Block disintegration. And C is shattering, mechanical weathering. Do you know landforms formed on the Earth's surface as a result of internal movements are called primary and secondary landforms? For example, continents, mountains, plateaus, plains, etc. Because of the external processes like weathering, erosion, transportation, and deposition, the primary and secondary landforms give way to the tertiary landforms. For example, valleys, sand dunes, delta, U-shaped valleys, etc. Can you tell? See the given pictures. Observe the physical appearance of the rocks in each picture. Can you see that rocks are broken, fractured, and have holes in them? In a picture, you can also see that the statue has been deformed. Why are the rocks in such a condition? Think about them and briefly tell the reasons you can think of. Discuss the reasons, check with the teachers if your reasons are relevant. Again, let's see this. This is dome shaped hill, exfoliation of dome shaped hill. This is block disintegration. Rocks are broken in this, and shattering. Here also rocks are broken. Mechanical weathering, mechanical weathering, mechanical weathering. Let's move ahead. 3.1d also oxidation, chemical weathering. Oxidation is a chemical process. So chemical weathering is there. Biological weathering. See, an insect is there, an ant is there. Figure 3.1e. Then 3.1f, biological weathering. See how this tree is grown inside the rock. Then after Fg is there. This is also an example of chemical weathering. Then this is also chemical weathering, salt weathering. See, holes are there. Okay, so let's read further. Geographical explanation. Breaking or weakening of rocks is a natural phenomenon. It is called weathering. Weathering can be of three types: mechanical or physical, then chemical, and biological. In arid climates, mechanical weathering is dominant, while in humid climates, chemical weathering is more effective. Biological weathering occurs because of living organisms. Mechanical weathering. Try this. Take an onion, cut it in the middle. Observe the cut parts. Try to remove each skin layer of these parts. Geographical explanation. You will notice that just as we can remove each and every outer layer of the onion, similarly in nature, rocks undergo such a process. The exposed part of the rock heats more while the inner part is comparatively cooler. As a result, the outer layers of the rocks fall apart from the main rock. This is called exfoliation of the rock. See figure 3.2. This is an example picture of exfoliation. Outer rocks are breaking out. Mechanical weathering mainly occurs because of the following reasons: temperature, frost, crystal growth, release of pressure, water. First, we will see temperature. The minerals in the rocks expand because of heat and contract when temperature decreases. Due to such continuous contracting and expanding, tension develops in the rock particles. Each mineral reacts differently to the temperature. Some minerals expand more while others do not expand as much. Consequently, the tension formed in the rocks also increases and decreases. As a result, cracks develop in the rocks and they break. In areas where the diurnal range of temperature is higher, weathering of this type is common in the hot deserts. Forest. You know that the volume of the water increases when it freezes. In areas where the temperatures drop below 0 degrees Celsius for quite some time, the water accumulated in the cracks and crevices in the rocks freezes. Its volume increases. This leads to tension in the rocks and they shatter. See figure 3.1c. This is figure 3.3, 3.1 will be above this. This one, shattering. See how the rocks are broken. This is an example of mechanical weathering. This leads to tension in the rocks and they shatter due to temperature differences. Crystal growth. In rocky coasts, waves hit the sea cliff. The water is alkaline. Some water droplets hit the cracks in the rocks. In this alkaline water, the soluble materials in the rock get dissolved. This leads to formation of small holes in the rocks. This is the effect of solution. Alkaline water gets stored in these holes. Because of heat, this water turns into water vapor and only crystals of alkaline materials remain in the rocks. Crystals occupy more space. This causes tension in the rock. Holes are formed in the rocks. It also like a honeycomb. See figure 3.3. See this honeycomb, alkaline crystallization. Release of pressure. It is not that tension is created in the rocks only because of temperature, freezing of water, or crystallization. The outer layers of the rocks exert pressure on the inner or lower layers. When this pressure ceases to exist, the lower or inner layers get freed from the pressure. This also leads to weathering. Water. Some areas experience more rainfall than others. In such areas, soaking of rock water also causes weathering of some rocks like sandstone, conglomerate. These rocks are formed because of pressure on the agglomeration of sand particles. Mud also makes sand particles come together. When water penetrates such rocks, the particles get loose and separate from the main rock. This is called granular weathering. See figure 3.4. Granular weathering. Sometimes both temperature and water are responsible for weathering. Difference in temperature cause concentration and expansion widening the joints or the cracks in the rocks. Water accumulates in such wide joints and big blocks of rocks separate from each other. This is called block disintegration. See figure 3.1b. 3.1b. Block disintegration. This is also mechanical weathering. Now chemical weathering. Try this. Take a glass of water and put a piece of chalk in it. See figure 3.5 experiment of chalk. On the next day, observe what has happened to it and answer the following questions. Did the color of the water change? What happened to the chalk? Second, wrap few iron nails in a wet cloth. See this figure. Figure 3.6, the experiment of screws. Are there any stains on the cloth? Which color are they? What could be the reason for the stains? Now, geographical explanation. Water plays an important role in chemical weathering. Rock is a mixture of many minerals. Water is a universal solvent. Many things get dissolved easily in water. The solubility increases because the matter has dissolved in water, and those materials which do not dissolve easily in water get dissolved in such solutions. In areas that receive heavy rainfall, chemical weathering occurs in the following way. Carbonation. The rainwater travels through the atmosphere before reaching the ground. Carbon dioxide in the air gets mixed in the water in this process. Dilute carbonic acid gets formed. Materials like limestone get easily dissolved in such acids. Example, water plus carbon dioxide is equal to carbonic acid H2O plus CO2 is equal to H2CO3. Solution. Some minerals in the rock get dissolved in water. Limestone is formed due to chemical precipitation between water and alkalis. At Vadgaon Darya in Ahmednagar district, limestone gets precipitated chemically, that is, undergoes chemical weathering again. Similarly, because of solution, alkalis in the rock dissolve and make them brittle. Figure 3.7, stalactite in Vadgaon Darya, Ahmednagar. Now oxidation. This process occurs in rocks. which have iron present in them. The iron in the rock comes in contact with water and chemical reaction takes place between iron and oxygen. Hence, a reddish colored layer forms on the rocks. This is called rust. When you kept nails in the wet cloth, you must have noticed a similar thing. Similar process occurs in rocks in areas with high rainfall. See figure 3.1d. We have seen figure 3.1d. There are many more processes involved in chemical weathering besides the ones mentioned above. Daily life examples include moistening of table salt in rainy season, apple slices turning brown, etc. Biological weathering. Besides mechanical and chemical weathering, biological factors are also responsible for weathering of rocks. Have you visited any fort? Have you seen trees growing on their minarets? You also must have seen pieces of rocks getting separated because of the roots of the trees. As the roots grow bigger, they create tension in the rocks and start breaking them. See figure 3.8. Biological weathering. Say this. Ants make large ant hills. Rats, mice, rabbits, and other worms and insects make burrows in the ground. These animals are called burrowing animals. Because of their activity, weathering of rock occurs. Besides these, algae, moss, lichen, other flora, etc., grow in the rocks. They also help in weathering. See figure 3.9. Lichen, biological weathering in this rock. See, many small plants have grown in this. Let's recall. Have you seen the process of biological weathering around you? Now, mass movements, mass wasting. The weathered rock materials start moving along the slopes due to gravity and accumulate near the foothills or the gentler slopes. This process has been happened for years. The weathered particles form a conical heap at the foothills. When weathered particles move down due to gravity alone, the process is called mass movements. Mass movements occur in two ways. It is rapid on steeper slopes while it is slower on gentle slopes. Rapid mass movements. Rockfalls, landslides, land subsidence occur rapidly. Their effects are very destructive. The probability of these events is more in the regions having humid climates and steeper slopes. A thick layer of weathered material forms on the slope. When it rains in such areas, the rainwater penetrates the weathered materials and their weight increases. The weathered materials move very rapidly and come down the slope. Example, mudslide at Malin village of Pune district. Sometimes the weathered materials do not move toward but sorry move downward but sink in situ where they are. This is called slumping. See figure 3.10. Slumping. This is the figure. Such rapid mass movements may also occur because of earthquakes. Slower mass movements. In areas with dry climates and gentler slopes, mass movements occur slowly. Soil creep is a common phenomenon in such areas. In preglacial regions, the slopes Small layers of soil accumulate because of the movement of soil. This is called solifluction. See figure 3.13. This one. Solifluction. This is figure 3.12. Landslides. And this is 3.11. Rockfall. Erosion. Like weathering and mass movements, erosion is also an external process. Erosion occurs through various agents: wind, running water, glaciers, sea water, and groundwater cause erosion. We will study the agents of erosion and the landforms produced by them in the next lesson. So, this is the chapter. Thank you.